Hey everyone, Sparks back with another Goddess Victory Nikke video, and I've had a chance to test out Rem a little bit, so here's going to be my first impressions of her. And the results were really interesting with a few tests that I did. So I put her in a variety of situations, but the main one I wanted to check on was interception against the train. Now the train is a notoriously difficult boss to beat, but it's also very helpful to use rocket launchers such as A2 against it. And so I wanted to pair those together because Rem will do very well with A2 in theory, as well as pair her with Amelia because I know a lot of new players are pulling Amelia, as well as just people who are ReZero fans in general. Amelia has proven to be pretty strong, and so I want to see how she does with her as well. And then we'll take a look at a few alternative teams after that. So the first test that I wanted to do was with the bunny. So this is just our baseline, right? So instead of using Rem, we have all the same units in here, but we are having Blanc as our burst 2, and it was an easy clear against the train, no issues. And then I ended up with a clear time of 1 minute and 10 seconds, okay? Now, check this out. I put in Rem, and I started out with skill levels 4 and 2 overloads on her. So 2 overloads is comparable to my Blanc. It's exactly the same. I actually got some pretty good rolls on her. I got an attack roll, and I got a hit rate roll, which is really good on machine guns, and I got critical damage or critical rate on it. I can't remember which one. So some decent rolls on her, although I think ammo is definitely what we want the most. But you know, hit rate and attack is definitely good. So anyway, I started out with skills 4, and I got 110 again, exactly the same clear time as with Blanc, and I was not expecting that at all. The interesting thing that I noticed when using her was that she struggled to keep A2 in B mode. So you lost, or I lost, a lot of damage from A2 because of that, because the healing wasn't enough. There are also points in the train battle where even when you're manualing one character, a bunch of your other characters will stop shooting because there won't be a target, particularly right in the transition going to stage 2 after you blow off the back of the train. So A2 is taking a lot of damage there when just nothing is happening because there's no heals coming in from Ren dealing damage unless you're manualing her. So keep that in mind. But anyway, it was interesting that like we got the exact same clear time here because, you know, we lost damage from A2's buff, but then she was getting a bunch of buffs from Rem, and of course Rem is also buffing the other characters, so it evened out with the exact same clear time. So very interesting to me. So then I went back and upgraded my Rem skills more. Now I wanted to get her up to 7 on everything, but it was actually just short, so I only got 1 skill to 7, and then the other 2 were at 6. My Blanc skills are all at level 7, but this is very close to being comparable. And so I went and ran against the train again, and same kind of thing. We struggled a little bit with healing, but we got it to work, and got a very slightly faster clear of 1 minute and 6 seconds. Now, the real thing about this is that you're not actually going to be using Noir in the squad, right? It's just I was doing it to keep things exactly comparable. But the real strength is that you don't have to use the pair of bunnies. You can use Rem instead of Blanc, and then you can just use another OP third attacker such as Modernia, who is like everyone's favorite fill-in attacker. So when you have a third one that's just going to do a lot of damage, not first, Modernia is your girl. So I ran it again, and very surprisingly, I only got 1 second faster clear than I had previously, which was really interesting to me. I don't know exactly why that is, because like Noir wouldn't have been getting buffs from Rem anyway, as far as being, you know, a rocket launcher. So definitely found that was pretty interesting, but also the more likely thing you're going to do here is use her with Black Shadow, right? Because Black Shadow is one of the best attackers in the game, definitely the strongest rocket launcher, and we'll see what she can do there. So I put in Black Shadow, Alice, and A2 this time. This is, in theory, I think the most powerful Rem team, and of course we're still using Dorothy. We've always been Dorothy. And this had much stronger results, so we cleared it in only 50 seconds. Now you might have noticed in a couple of these fights, some of the units would actually die, like A2 would like die at like the last second. Now these would only happen like literally like a second or two before I'd actually win, but just keep in mind the healing from Rem is actually not as good as I thought it was going to be. So let's talk about her skills for just a second. I think you want to level all of her skills basically evenly. I would suggest getting them all up the same, but if you had to pick one, I'd probably prioritize skill 1 for investment. Also, another thing to note is that she scales really well, okay? So the higher the investment in copies you have, the better she will be. So this is because all of her skills, as you can see here, scale off of base attack. And then also that directly affects the amount of healing she does, right? Because she's going to do more attack damage that way too. So the more limit breaks you have, the more cores she has, the more that's probably going to help you. Whereas, you know, like overload gear and more buffs and stuff from other units isn't really going to make that big of a difference. I mean, of course it will matter, but the really big thing that's going to help her be more effective, I think, is the more copies you can get of her. So should you pull, I mean, she's not as OP as maybe we thought she was going to be, but she's definitely good. I think that she is a very, very strong unit, but I think she's going to be even better if you can get more copies. So maybe consider that on how many crystals or gems you want to invest in her, because her heals are not as strong as I think they could be, particularly using her with A2. I think, you know, maybe you want to get her skills leveled up even more, so you will be able to keep A2 in B mode more reliably. But yeah, something to think about. Also, before we end the video, I am doing a special giveaway, okay, for my channel members and an unboxing video. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss this next video. This is really cool. I've never done a giveaway before. This is just like a little thank you to give back to all of the channel members. So if you want to be involved in the giveaway, make sure you're subscribed, hit that join button. No matter what level you support the channel at, whatever, I have 3 tiers for memberships, but any of them are eligible for the giveaway. Next video will be the unboxing and giveaway, so more details on that and exactly what the prize is, if you couldn't tell from what I held up in the bubble wrap, that will be in the next video. So make sure you're subbed so you don't forget that, and I will catch you guys in the next video or stream.